Hey, there you go. What do you think? Isn't it great? Keep that round of applause going and welcoming the two directors of Rising Stars, the women who just had been stitches for an hour and a half, Jackie Van Beek and Madeline Sami. Just now, we're going to have a really about a 20-minute Q&A. So start thinking about your questions right now because we are going to open it up to.
Do not leave.
Well, if you need to go now.
No, I think hold it. You know.
What I really enjoyed is the seven people.
She tried. She said she tried.
Lock the doors. But what I enjoyed is the seven people that did just sneak out, and absolutely fair enough. They had to go out there and they had to walk right past us. But we made them feel so good about themselves.
Did actually. I was like, I know, it's stuff to do.
Car parking's expensive.
I appreciate it.
Look, I'd love to get the ball rolling if that's okay. No? Straight out. Look, this film is doing incredibly well. It's one of the top 20 all-time grossing New Zealand films. I think, top grossing film in New Zealand this year. It's been receiving international, local acclaim from critics, the audiences. Did you just know when you saw the finished product, did you go, this one's a winner, this one's going to do so well?
You know what people are thinking about right now? They're thinking about what we were saying in that segment. And I was listening to you, but then I just saw everyone's eyes. That was the funniest bit of the film.
That was the funniest
bit. Do it.
Okay, what do you want to do it?
Yeah.
Go on.
Okay. Jackie hands Mel. Jen. Fuck. Jen hands Mel.
My parents are here.
Sorry. Jen hands Mel a friendship bracelet. Mel inspects the friendship bracelet. I'm also doing the big print. Yeah. Oh wow, you made me a friendship bracelet. You just twisted some cotton around a bit, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's not really. I'll show you how to make it good.
So it wasn't the funniest bit of the film, but well, we wanted to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, we really regret putting that bit in. That's why we come in the Q&As just a bit earlier.
Anyway, can we please? Yeah, sorry. Now, what was the question? Let's focus.
Did you know it was going to get this big?
No. We always had a good feeling about it, and when we were telling people about the film, when we started writing it, like about the premise and that we were working together and things, people seemed kind of excited. Like I'm talking about our friends,
my mum and stuff.
Not like The Guardian or the Sydney Film Festival, but like mum and people sounded excited, and so people, there was always quite a lot of positivity around the film, but we didn't know it would be so warmly kind of. I know there'll be a few people sitting here like, I hate it. But we have been really, what's the word? Like surprised or heartened?
Heartened. Yeah, we had our hearts filled with warmth about the response to our film.
You know what came as a real heartening surprise and filled my heart with warmth and surprise was being invited to open the Sydney Film Festival. I mean, that was really standing up on stage, looking at like 2,000 people.
Because we didn't really set about making an artful festival film at all. We wanted to make a nice broad.
Exactly.
So we didn't expect to get into any festival.
Well, we found it interesting programming. We found it we did not see this as
Same with Austin. I mean, Austin's a bit more rock and roll, but that was a pretty unexpected surprise to get to premiere our film over there for the Americans.
Yeah, that's South by Southwest. That was our world premiere over there. We ate lots of ribs and things, and I don't eat meat after that week in Austin. I've actually given up.
We had so much meat in the first 3 days that we just had to sleep for the last few.
I have not eaten it since, and I love animals more.
That's cool, man.
So who's got a question? And don't do that awkward thing where you shy and then at the end there's like 20 people going, me. Hey, buddy, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I know you.
Yeah.
G'day, mate.
I just wondered, I wondered how long it took from initially writing it, or even initially getting together for the first time to brainstorm and actually get it completed.
It was about 4 years, but not full time. So it was sort of like 4 years on and off. Jackie and I were both working on different projects at the time. Jackie was editing. You were editing your film, weren't you? Or you made
I
a
think
film.
I shot. I shot my
a film?
first feature and edited it.
Yeah.
An art house drama.
She's loved her art house dramas. Here's love bloody art house dramas. This one. Same. I love a bit of art. I just bounce out with a bit of comedy. So yeah, it was about 4 years, and we were both working on. I was working on another script as well at the same time, and we would just come together every once in a while, every few months, to kind of do another draft and get it through the kind of development process that the Film Commission put us through.
Yeah, also trying to make the script better for ourselves, I guess. I mean, yeah. I mean, the trickiest thing.
Well, that first draft is what's up there. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No.
First draft was vastly different, actually. We started very energetically, didn't we? And ambitious. We wrote probably a $50 million rom-com.
Oh, we had speedboats. We had a guy scuba diving underwater to an island, and then sailing away. And our producer rightly kind of corrected that. It was like, you're never going to get that kind of money. Who are you kidding?
You guys have never made films before. Jackie
Couple of
hasn't,
chicks
I'm
from
sorry.
New Zealand. You're dreaming. So we. It was all about sort of finding the right tone, and then also the hardest thing was kind of bedding the larger than life premise into an actual story, which is how the story about our friendship developed and stuff. So yeah, it took us 4 years. We got there in the end.
One more question down here, and then I'll open it up to the back as well.
Thank you, ladies. It was hilarious, the whole thing. I wanted to know a little bit about when you're writing the practical the jokes, as far as not production costs or anything like that, but the jokes within the dialogue. When you sat down to write those, did they just start flowing? Because it seems as though there's jokes upon jokes upon jokes, which makes it even funnier. Did they come out in the writing, and once you got on a flow, did that just come out naturally? How did it work?
Yeah, it was. We had a very collaborative writing process. So we would write, and then we'd take it into like a table read, or it would have other writers kind of suggesting gags. And also we both have a strong improv background, so there's quite a lot of improvisation as well. So we wrote the full script, but and Taika, actually, who was our EP and he's a good friend of ours, he was useful in that he said keep the script short, because the strength of the film will be you guys just blathering on together on set.
Which I don't know if you've noticed on this Q&A, but we're real good at that.
So there was a lot of spontaneous kind of, like you're saying, like jokes upon jokes. I mean, a lot of it was written, but
a lot of the Jordan, for example, is a very easy character to write gags for, because he's just like stream of consciousness. It's just like he's just so enthusiastic, and just anything. The randomness of a character like that is a joy to write for, because anything that comes out of his mouth is funny. You just think of the randomest thing, and it's and it seems to make sense for him. And so that's what I mean. The real amazing thing about James Ralston as an actor as well is that he can actually make those words seem real and somehow as well as funny. So yeah,
but then like actors like your very own Celia Piccola, who was such a pleasure to work with, she like improvised a huge amount. Like we would write her big speeches and hand them to her and would show her scripts and things, but then we just said to her, you're a brilliant improviser, you're really playful in the stuff you do. So a lot of her stuff she was making up.
Well, we'd be in the scene sitting opposite her and just be like, and she was great at taking it off us. I'd just be like, say your cat, where's your cat? Where's your cat gone? Where's your cat gone? And what about your cat? And then she'd just take that and like make some sort of depressed improvisator. It's hilarious. And it's actually in the film, which is amazing. So we were very lucky, and also we deliberately cast a lot of actors that we knew would bring something to our script that we'd obviously got to the best point we could before we started shooting. So yeah.
Oh, yep, there we go. And then I'll wind around this versa and oh, you beat me to it. I'm not even needed anymore.
Hi guys, thank you so much. It's so engaging, so entertaining. I want to talk about your karaoke tribute video section. And at what stage did Celine, had you decided on the song, and was that part of what inspired the video, and how much did it cost? I mean, that's a big song, so if you could tell us a bit about that.
This it's my karaoke song.
Do it so well.
It is my karaoke song, but it came out of actually Jackie and I trying to find a way of getting our backstory in that we enjoyed, because we sort of had tried to get it in through dialogue and it just never felt right.
It was always kind of so expositional.
It was so expositional and it just didn't, and we just wanted to do something a bit more inventive with getting that backstory without having to kind of spell it out in a dialogue kind of way. And we always had the party bus sequence, and I think, you know, I mean, that is my karaoke song. I love it because it is so cheesy and nostalgic at the same time, and I just thought how lovely it would be that cheesy, weird thing would trigger Jen into actually remembering this stuff right now. And a huge fan of karaoke videos as well, in karaoke bars and rooms, and that they seldom make sense to the song at all.
A lot of ducks, you know, we really wanted those swans in there, like a lot of lakes.
Originally, we actually we were inspired by. I was inspired by another band that I love, which is also a music video up there. So there's an element of inspiration from the Nolans video. Got to pull myself together, which is all shot in a park, and it's just amazing. It's mainly the videos like them in like tight yellow pants and their butts wiggling from side to side. But there's also a cheesy, terrible love story in that. So it was a mixture of that, and then we actually got rained out one day when we were trying to shoot in a park, and it was a tragic day for our producer. She was nearly in tears, and so we improvised, and I was determined to get a gold curtain and some grease around the thing in the candelabra. And we got all that other gold kind of, which is kind of inspired by the Celine video, which is all very kind of smoky. There's candles blowing, and you know, there's
Motorbike.
Yeah, we couldn't get the motorbike.
I really wanted the motorbike.
No, that would have been a day's shooting. So yeah, we really wanted to go there, and we did. And
it was, we knew it would be an expensive element, but we also knew it would help, you know, resonate with audiences and help the film to travel, you know, those big anthems. And we didn't know for quite some time whether we'd be able to afford it, and so, you know, our producers were like, yeah, we're looking at it, you know, and we're getting closer and closer to the shoot day. And I think, you know, they're getting prices. And then, you know, it costs more to have actually Celine singing, you know, so it's like whether we can have Celine singing or just the instrumental track. But
Does this mean she's seen your film?
I don't.
I think it has to go through to, like, I think they have to get her permission. Like, the closer you get to being getting the song in your film, like you know, they ask a lot of questions and they want to know the context of the song because they don't want you to be taking the piss out of them or anything like that.
Which we didn't do. We embraced Celine and all of her madness.
I love her with a lot of warmth in my heart.
But we have been surprised we have not been sent tickets from her people to her concert yet.
Also, a little nerdy thing which I always mention, but that song would have been around the time that the breakup happened as well. It would have been like the song of the time. It was about we say about 15 years in the film. So a lot of the kind of 90s themed music in the thing was like a tiny nerdy nod.
I see. And we got our next quiz. Yes, in here. You shot your hand up. I reckon it's yours. You were like, yes.
I'm
gonna yell, do it.
Seppa and her crew.
Well, yeah, so Sep is played by a wonderful actress, Anna Scotney, and she was fresh out of drama school, and we didn't know her. And our casting director, Stu Turner, he said, I'm just throwing in a bit of a wild card. Maybe she's not quite right for the character that we've written, but and put her on tape, and we saw the tape, and we're like, oh my gosh. And then so we got her in the room, and we wanted to see if she could improvise, and she just didn't stop. Like, she was just like the most amazing improviser. I spent a lot of my time on set with her just giggling. So we were shooting with 2 cameras, so often all of my footage was unusable. And like, she was just like, hey, just going and going and going.
And again, just an amazing, like, find just someone who takes an offer and just runs with it. And Seppa's Girls was actually one of the hardest things to cast in the whole film. We spent a lot of time that we didn't have in pre-production trying to cast her girls. We always knew that we wanted to have them flanking, and you know, so it was important to us to find the kind of right look for, and we wanted a really eclectic mix. And I went with our casting director to a show by a collective called Fuff Swag in New Zealand. I don't know if you guys have heard, but they're like a voguing collective in New Zealand, and all these amazing performers were in it. I was like, we have to have some of these girls in our film, and they all came and auditioned, and they auditioned, they did a little choreography which was choreographed by one of the girls, Amanaki, who initially wasn't supposed to be in the film, but then one of the other girls didn't turn up. So we put Amanaki, our choreographer, and so we choreographed a dance to Casey and Jojo, And that was it was one of the first moments where I just felt like I was very excited about the film we were making. And so it took us quite a few days. There was a number of girls that we couldn't have in because they just wouldn't have fit in the frame.
There were
like,
so many brilliant.
Yeah.
The difficult thing was there were so many brilliant girls, and
So
just
many
like
brilliant
choosing only like 4 or 5 was
Yeah.
very, very tough.
But they're all amazing performers in their own right, and they just, you feel that when you see them, just they're all so individual, and it's like that thing of kind of like just letting them do their thing on screen. And like honestly, in the editing process, we were just kind of, we get so distracted sometimes. We'd have to choose specific shots sometimes because one of the other girls in the background would just be, we can't let them outshine Anna in this scene because they'd just be doing something and you're just drawn
Some
to
of
them.
those crazy faces,
Yeah, just really magnetic performance. So we were really lucky and stoked with obviously everyone's talking about a spin-off, so they've probably got enough. There's probably definitely enough charisma in that bunch to warrant a spin-off, I reckon.
Anything in this kind of vicinity? Oh yeah.
What's it like to direct and star like at the same time?
It was pretty fun. It was pretty crazy. I'd done it once on a short film, but because when we came up with the idea and we thought, okay, we'll write this together and we'll write parts for ourselves, so we'll be the 2 leads. And then then it wasn't until about halfway kind of through the development process that we thought, well, let's just direct it as well, because we had such a clear vision. As we were writing, like the vision was becoming clearer and clearer, and we didn't want to hand over to someone and then have to kind of explain our vision and then like trust them. We just thought, let's leave it. The only person we could really think of who we've kind of grown up with and does understand that sensibility is Taika, but he went and signed on to Thor. We just kept him quite busy. But so it was a circus, Yeah,
we'd also seen both worked in What We Do in the Shadows as well, and so we'd seen, which was co-directed by Jermaine and Taika, so we'd seen that the co-directing thing could work and co-starring thing. And co-writing, I guess. So we just, and I think a part of, for me as well, and probably for you, a part of me was just like, we should do this as women. We should just like not be scared to do this, and just, even though it's a full-on, responsibility. The only thing we were a little bit scared of was that it would take away a little bit of the joy of just doing the acting and kind of sitting in that and coming up with improv and stuff. But it just meant that we were a bit more stretched on set, but it felt really great to be able to do all of those things and actually get to the end of it and go, hey, we did that. That was cool. Couple of chicks from New Zealand. Couple of chicks, baby.
And the New Zealand Film Commission were really supportive of the idea. They loved the idea. I think partially because they could tick 6 boxes. There's a real spotlight, I'm sure it's probably in Australia as well, a real spotlight on female filmmakers over the last 5 years. So they got to tick 6 boxes without it.
Well, I think we're all pretty glad you made that decision. And how are we going for time, guys? I just want to... Hey, all right, think of good questions, yeah?
I can help, it's fine. Thank you, it was awesome. My mom's from New Zealand. So.
Too much.
I wanted to ask, what is your biggest advice to young filmmakers?
The advice I give to young filmmakers, because I do quite a lot of mentoring of writers and directors, I always just urge people to just start and just do it and don't wait for the money, because you can make films for so cheap now, right? And you look like someone who's got a lot of friends, so you just ask, I you look like a nice person. And I always just think, don't get into the kind of whole putting in an application for $30,000 to make a short, you might have made lots of films, but say about someone making their first short film and then waiting and being rejected and then applying again. I was like, just start. I always say, start small. Start with your Canon camera and and your 6
Your
frames.
iPhone.
Yeah, your iPhone. You got an iPhone.
Your
X,
iPhone
right?
6.
I've got an iPhone 6. You got an
Yeah,
iPhone
you
6.
can start with that.
I can do that. I can make one of my art house dramas.
Yeah, you can make an art house drama on an iPhone 6, I reckon.
So that's the thing I always say, don't wait for the money and just start. I only started making films when
Just
I
take
was...
it to a popsicle stick. Yeah, steady cans.
But I only started making films when I was 30. I'm 42 now, and I decided I didn't go to film school, or we didn't go to drama school either. Why are you laughing?
I haven't been to any school, I was living on the streets.
No.
Yeah, it is, but does it make you think?
Anyway, I have got a serious thing to say, and it's like what I decided to do when I was 30 is I thought I'm just going to make one short film every year, and I'm going to teach myself. And so I made one short film every year. I made 7 short films, and then I made 2 features. And I had 3 kids, Mum and Dad. And I had 3 kids, and Mum and Dad did a lot of babysitting. So thank you.
I've watched so many YouTube videos on shots and lighting, and honestly, it's great. It's like you don't need to. It's just about having that kind of confidence, like Jackie said, to just get out and do it. And yeah, get all your other talented mates together.
You know talented people there.
All those mates that you've got. Yeah, just get them all together. All those mates that you definitely have.
And then you got to pay back the favour. You got to do their films, you know.
No, of course.
Yeah. With your iPhone and your popsicle stick.
And then you're all kind of learning together, and it's sort of similar to the way that we grew up with like Taika and Jermaine and the kind of theatre scene in New Zealand. We all grew up
teaching them,
mentoring them.
Mentoring Taika,
just helping him, with his little scripts and
stories,
little scripts and stuff, and allowing him to take the Thor job over me when Chris definitely wanted me to do it. Chris definitely asked for me, and I was like, hey, there's this guy, he's kind of like the male version of me. Give him a shot. Give him a shot, Chris.
Couple more. Is there anyone on this side? Yeah. Where's Mike Running Man? You're beaten. You're not needed anymore either.
I hope this doesn't go over your head, but
you go to film school? Oh, you go to film school. Oh, it just occurred to me.
I was just wondering how much it cost you to get Gina Reinhardt to play your mum.
$10.
How did you get Celia involved? Because obviously she's very successful and she's done a lot of things over the last few years. I actually didn't know she was in the film until she popped up, so I was just wondering how she got involved.
So our distributors, Madman, they came on board very, very early. So we were developing with those guys, and we were keen to cast, part in Australia, and they sent us a list through, and Celia was very near the top of their list. And I mentioned her name to my husband, who lived in Melbourne for a long time, and they'd done a lot of stand-up shows together, and he was like, she's amazing. And so then we started going, looking on YouTube and watching Rosehaven and blooper reels.
Yeah,
and
we
stuff.
stalked her on the internet for a bit.
I thought she was really funny, and was like the kind of, she had the playfulness and the improvisational skills for the kind of, the actors we were looking for.
All right. I think last question. Yeah, last question. All right.
Oh no, I was going to ask, but I got too nervous.
She's just send them over for a quick review.
Okay. This is like the biggest question of all the Q&As I've done. And you can lie to me, Mum and Dad, but what do you guys think? What do you think?
Hang on, mic's up here.
The pressure is up. It can just be one word.
Fun.
Oh, that's great.
I thought it was fun. Dad?
Who did you like better, me or... Which daughter did you like better, the brown one or the white one?
I thought the comedy was great.
That's wonderful.
I'm going to get a t-shirt.
We're going to put that on the poster.
Mum thought the comedy was great. Dad, what about you, Dad? What do you think?
There were fewer one-liners than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was done very well and it was a worthwhile film.
I reckon it's worthwhile. Worth the trip to Melbourne. I love that. 4 stars. I'll take 4 stars. Oh, thanks, guys. And Alan, you know who I bumped into in the foyer, and he's just come back in from the Q&A. My first ever boyfriend. Whom I love and is a dear friend, and his partner and his new baby are here, and he had to leave because the baby was making too much noise. And also, he is the brother of Gentian Lupi, who plays the Muay Thai fighter.
Who just about knocked me out on the first day of shooting. For that very small scene. It was all worth it.
So it's like everyone's here. My whole life is here in the Nova. It's amazing. I love it.
Do you want us all to leave and just give you a little moment?
Just me, yeah.
Come on, go.
Are you going to
And she
hang
needs
out?
to
We'll clap you out if you go. No, stay.
She often bluffs an exit, and she comes back, she always comes back.
Just get it.
She never leaves.
Oh,
She
man, the
never
last one
leaves.
was stop out.
Oh no, you're actually
Where are we going to
called
next?
out. No, I think.
Where are you going to?
She doesn't want you to go telling you to go. Alright, we're going to have to wrap it up there, ladies and gentlemen. It's an incredible film. Thank you.